Welcome to our special ANZAC Day ceremony for 2023. We are here today to honour all Australians who have served our country in times of war and conflict. In particular, the original ANZACs, who landed on the shores of Gallipoli on the 25th of April 1915. Since then, the 25th of April has been known as ANZAC Day, and Australians and New Zealanders take time on this day to remember those who served and honour the sacrifices they made in our country's name.
The ANZACs, together with British, Indian and French soldiers, were sent to fight on the Gallipoli Peninsula in Turkey. Australians from all kinds of backgrounds served during the First World War. They were to wear the same uniform and share the same experience of war. Their story, the ANZAC story, is one that unites all Australians regardless of their background.
In their service to this country, they enrich our nation's history. Their hope is for the freedom of mankind, and we remember them with pride, their ANZAC spirit. Courage, compassion, purpose, responsibility, and their comradeship.
The dark red candle represents those who fought in the Malaysian, Korean, and Vietnam campaigns in the Gulf War. Represents the soldiers of the Royal Australian Air Force. The white candle represents the nurses and officers.
Josh and Nate Weston, Year 6 and 4.
Commander Ken Weston. Grandad Ken served in the Royal Australian Air Force for 24 years. He worked in Melbourne, Canberra, Malaysia, and the United States of America.
Warrant Officer 1 Charles Weston. Great-Grandad Charles served in the British Army for 22 years. During World War II, he fought in North Africa and Italy. After the war, he served in Germany, Belgium, Kenya, Singapore, and England.
Hugh Goodman is my grandmother's uncle. He was especially important to my grandmother as he lived with her family when she was growing up. He enlisted in the army in 1939 and travelled with other Australian troops to fight in the Second World War. He was captured in Crete by the German army and spent the remainder of the war in a prisoner of war camp. He came back to Australia in 1949.
Ted Horse was my great-grandfather. He enlisted in the army in 1939. Reverend was my great-granddad. He landed in Port Horsby in Papua New Guinea with the ANZACs and saw action of Kokoda.
Demi Apps 5A.
These medals are my dad's, Julian Apps. The red one is the Australian Defence Medal. My dad was an infantry soldier in the Army Reserve from 1997 to 2002. The unit he was in was B Company, 5-6 RVR. The other three medals are for his service as a police officer. He has been a police officer for 18 years. The blue and gold medal is a national medal. The one with the star is a National Police Service medal. The blue and white one is the Victorian Police Service medal.
Miller Shaw.
My great-grandfather, Arthur Cunningham, was in the Navy, which meant he would be on boats a lot of the time. He was a dedicated man and would never let anyone down. My great-grandmother, Dawn Cunningham, was married twice. Arthur was my second great-grandfather, and there was this other man that she was married to before Arthur, called Ronald James Shaw. He sadly died after the war with cancer at the age of 30. But the amazing part is they both were in World War II.
Logan Locke.
My great-grandfather fought in Papua New Guinea, and he got lost in the forest and he had malaria, but luckily he was saved by the Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels.
Ms. Babbage and the school captains will now present the memorial wreath.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing high. Fly scars hurt amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, fell dawn, some sunset glow. We loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our cruel with the foe, to you from failing hand we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye brave faith with us who died. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.